For the first time in centuries, researchers have uncovered what's believed to be Jesus' tomb.
Something ancient has been found beneath Jesus' tomb. Something buried for centuries, hidden in stone and shielded by faith. Scientists dug beneath layers of history and unearthed clues that match biblical descriptions with eerie accuracy. Could this be the exact place where Jesus was laid to rest? What do the new discoveries tell us about the truth behind one of Christianity's holiest sites? What secrets still lie beneath the surface? Could science finally confirm what believers have known for centuries? Join us as we look into what scientists found beneath Jesus' tomb in Jerusalem. Scientists discover evidence beneath Jesus' tomb. Recent investigations into the traditional site of Jesus Christ's burial have revealed findings that support the historical claims associated with the location.
After so many years, I'm emotional to see what is there.
The Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem, regarded as the most sacred site in Christianity, houses the tomb believed to be where Jesus was laid after the crucifixion. Despite centuries of destruction and reconstruction, parts of the original burial site appear to have survived. The tomb itself is a limestone burial bed, cut directly from the wall of a cave. Since at least 1555, and likely for many centuries before that, this rock surface had been hidden beneath a marble covering. The marble was placed to protect the original limestone from being taken by pilgrims, who then went looking for evidence. What did their research yield? What you're about to hear will blow your mind. On October 26, 2016, conservation experts from the National Technical University of Athens removed the marble layer. Initially, they found only fill material beneath. As they continued working over 60 hours, they uncovered a second marble slab with a cross carved into it. Finally, by October 28th same year, the original limestone surface was revealed. National Geographic archaeologist Frederick Hebert expressed surprise at the discovery, noting the strong indication that the burial site's location had remained unchanged over time. Though he emphasized that absolute certainty is impossible, he acknowledged the discovery as significant. Further analysis confirmed that parts of the original cave walls still exist within the 19th century edicule, the small shrine that encloses the tomb. A newly installed window on the southern interior wall now displays a section of the ancient rock. According to Professor Antonia Maropoulou, the chief scientific supervisor of the restoration, this allows the public to view the revered rock for the first time in centuries. While archaeological methods cannot definitively identify the tomb as belonging to Jesus of Nazareth, indirect evidence supports the site's authenticity. The Gospels, composed decades after Jesus' death around AD 30, describe him being buried in a rock-cut tomb owned by Joseph of Arimathea, a wealthy follower. These accounts, despite minor variations, align with burial practices of the time. Archaeologist Jody Magnus, a National Geographic grantee, points out that more than 1,000 similar rock-cut tombs have been found around Jerusalem. Wealthy Jewish families at the time buried their dead in tombs carved into the rock, with individual niches for each body. This custom supports the possibility that the tomb described in the Gospels was accurately portrayed. Jewish customs prohibited burial within city walls. The Gospels state that Jesus was buried near Golgotha, the site of the crucifixion, which lay outside the city at the time. A few years later, Jerusalem's walls were expanded, placing the tomb within the city limits. In AD 325, Roman Emperor Constantine sent representatives to Jerusalem to locate the tomb. They were shown a temple built by Emperor Hadrian roughly 200 years earlier. Historical accounts suggest Hadrian's temple was erected to assert Roman religious authority over a site already venerated by early Christians. Bishop Eusebius of Caesarea documented that Constantine's team demolished Hadrian's temple and excavated beneath it, eventually revealing a rock-cut tomb. The top of the cave was removed to expose the interior, and a church was constructed over the site. The original church was destroyed in 1009 by the Fatimids and later rebuilt in the 11th century. Excavations in the 20th century within the Church of the Holy Sepulchre uncovered remains believed to be parts of Hadrian's temple and Constantine's original church. Archaeologists also found an ancient limestone quarry and several rock-cut tombs in the area, some of which remain visible today. Magnus emphasizes the importance of these surrounding tombs as archaeological evidence. They confirm that this area was once a Jewish cemetery, located outside Jerusalem's original walls during the 1st century. Dan Bahat, a former city archaeologist of Jerusalem, notes that while absolute certainty remains elusive, no other site offers as strong a claim to being the burial place of Jesus. The tomb was resealed after its examination, and the marble cladding was returned. According to Marapoulou, the goal of the conservation is to preserve the structure indefinitely. Before resealing, the team thoroughly documented the surface of the rock. Archaeologist Martin Biddle, who authored a major study on the tomb in 1999, stresses the importance of examining the rock's surface closely for historical markings. Ground-penetrating radar has been used to detect the cave's original walls hidden behind the marble facade. Biddle points to the presence of graffiti, crosses, and inscriptions in other significant tombs in the area as clues of their religious importance. He believes that only a careful review of the documentation from the recent exposure will shed light on why Bishop Eusebius identified this specific tomb. Biddle remains convinced that Eusebius, a respected scholar, had solid reasons for his claim, even if those reasons were not fully recorded. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre continues to draw scholars, pilgrims, and tourists from around the world. As scientific studies progress, they provide new insights into one of Christianity's most sacred locations. Though full historical confirmation may remain out of reach, the evidence uncovered so far strengthens the link between the site and the burial described in the Gospels. Now, speaking of the connecting between Bible truths and contemporary findings, there's much to uncover. Let's go deeper. Unearthing biblical clues beneath Jerusalem's sacred ground. Deep beneath the ancient Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem, archaeologists have uncovered remarkable clues about the area's distant past. This site, revered by millions, has long been linked to the final moments of Jesus. The latest findings add new dimensions to its complex history and provide tangible details about life during the 1st century. For decades, scholars and pilgrims alike have wondered about the exact nature of this site.
The new discoveries here at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre happened during a recent restoration around the tomb of Jesus.
The church itself dates back to the early 300s AD, built on orders from Emperor Constantine, but the ground beneath it holds stories much older than the structure above. Recent excavation efforts have focused on the northern section of the church, a place that has remained largely unexplored until now. The scientific team used advanced techniques to analyze soil layers and biological remains, revealing traces of olive trees and grapevines that thrived in the area long ago. These plant remnants are particularly noteworthy because they align with historical texts describing a garden near the burial location of Jesus. The presence of such vegetation suggests that the site was not merely a burial ground, but part of a cultivated space, possibly belonging to a wealthy family. Alongside the plant evidence, a series of marble tombs has been brought to light. Their design and craftsmanship point to a time frame consistent with the 1st century AD. Researchers are examining inscriptions and structural details to determine if these tombs could belong to notable individuals from Jerusalem society, perhaps even linked to the figure who offered his own tomb for Jesus' body. Interesting, right? You're at the edge of your seat and it's about to get even better. In addition to physical remains, fragments of pottery and oil lamps discovered during the dig help establish the everyday context of the area. These artifacts indicate continuous human activity over centuries, illustrating a neighborhood that evolved through multiple cultural and political phases. The layers of history visible in these finds provide a timeline that spans from ancient times through the Byzantine period and beyond. The excavation process is delicate, given the spiritual significance of the church. Archaeologists work closely with religious authorities to ensure that their research does not disrupt worship activities. This collaboration reflects the unique position of the Holy Sepulchre as both a religious symbol and a historical treasure. Detailed studies of mortar and construction techniques found under the church reveal evidence of several building phases. Some parts date back to the 1st century, while others are from later renovations carried out by different rulers and communities. Understanding these layers helps piece together how the site transformed over time and which features may date back to the era of Jesus. One particular challenge for researchers is separating fact from tradition. While the biblical texts provide descriptions, physical proof has often been elusive. However, the current discoveries offer tangible connections to those ancient stories, allowing scholars to map out the environment in which those events might have taken place. The presence of a garden-like setting with specific plant species is one such connection. The types of vegetation found are known from ancient Mediterranean horticulture and were commonly cultivated in private estates of the period. This supports the idea that the tomb was located in a peaceful and cared-for area, away from the public eye, but close enough to a main road for access. Further investigation of the tombs will involve careful dating techniques such as radiocarbon analysis and microscopic examination of building materials. These scientific approaches are essential to pinpoint the age of the findings and clarify their relationship to historical figures. Apart from the first-century layers, researchers have uncovered remains from other periods, including evidence from the Iron Age and the Byzantine era. These findings show that the site has been important to many different peoples and religions over thousands of years. Each generation left its mark, creating a rich mosaic of cultural heritage. The church's current structure, mainly rebuilt during the Crusades, reflects this layered history. Its architecture combines elements from various periods, symbolizing centuries of devotion and change. Visitors today experience not only a place of worship, but also a living museum of Jerusalem's past. The excavation has attracted attention internationally. Scholars and believers are eager to see what new insights will emerge as the work continues. The findings help contextualize the narratives passed down through generations, giving them a physical dimension beyond texts and traditions. The study of the Holy Sepulchre site contributes to broader discussions about how archaeological research can interact with religious belief. It shows that scientific inquiry does not diminish faith, but can enhance understanding by grounding stories in real places and objects. As exploration advances, there is hope that further discoveries will clarify unresolved questions about the site's layout and original use. There may be more tombs, artifacts, or structural remains waiting to be uncovered that could shed light on the social and religious environment of first-century Jerusalem. These new data points also provide valuable material for historians studying the Roman and Byzantine periods in the region. They offer clues about burial customs, architectural styles, and the organization of sacred spaces during these eras.
I'm absolutely amazed. My knees are shaking a little bit because I wasn't expecting this.
The findings from the Church of the Holy Sepulchre add to a growing body of evidence about the city's development and its significance as a religious center. They reinforce Jerusalem's role as a crossroads of history, faith, and culture. Scientific methods continue to improve the precision of dating and identification. Techniques such as ground-penetrating radar and digital mapping allow archaeologists to visualize underground structures without damaging them. This technology helps plan digs more efficiently and protects fragile remains. The interdisciplinary nature of the project brings together experts in botany, geology, history, and theology. Their combined knowledge ensures a comprehensive approach that respects both the scientific and spiritual dimensions of the site. By tracing the origins of the tomb and garden area, the team hopes to contribute to the global understanding of early Christianity's roots. This archaeological journey connects modern people with ancient traditions and offers a window into a pivotal moment in religious history. The discoveries beneath the church confirm that Jerusalem remains a place of great mystery and fascination. Each artifact and plant fragment uncovered tells a story that links the past with the present. Efforts continue to document and preserve these findings for future generations. Conservation work ensures that the materials remain intact and accessible to scholars and the public alike. Hidden networks and subterranean mysteries beneath the tomb. While much attention has been focused on the tomb's surface and its immediate structure, Recent developments have turned the scientific spotlight beneath the burial chamber into the deeper, concealed sublayers of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Using non-invasive technologies such as ground-penetrating radar, GPR, electrical resistivity tomography, and three-dimensional geospatial imaging, researchers have begun to uncover an intricate subterranean landscape extending below and beyond the traditional tomb site. These hidden networks could provide an entirely new dimension to our understanding of ancient Jerusalem's religious geography and the physical context of Jesus' burial. Curious? Stay tuned. The most interesting part is still ahead. One of the most compelling discoveries made in the past few years relates to what is being described as an underground cavity system situated underneath the Edicule. Detected through high-resolution radar imaging in 2019 by a team led by Dr. Michel Caminos of the German Archaeological Institute, this previously unknown void consists of several chambers, arranged in a semi-linear fashion, resembling early Christian catacomb structures. While access remains restricted due to structural risks, the imaging suggests the cavities might have been part of a cryptic worship space or earlier burial site, potentially predating the Roman period. This notion aligns with historical patterns. Prior to Emperor Hadrian's construction of a pagan temple in the 2nd century AD, early Christians were known to worship in secret, often choosing caves, underground grottos, or remote tombs for protection. The presence of subterranean compartments could mean that what now sits as the Church of the Holy Sepulchre was not only a burial location, but also a concealed site of early Christian veneration, long before official Roman recognition in 313 AD. Adding weight to this theory are records from the Bordeaux Pilgrim, one of the earliest Christian travelogues, dating to around 333 AD. The Pilgrim notes the existence of subterranean places of prayer in Jerusalem associated with Christ's Passion. These accounts had long been dismissed as metaphorical or exaggerated until radar surveys revealed geometries matching those described in the Pilgrim's writings. A peer-reviewed 2021 study published in Near Eastern Archaeology confirmed that anomalies beneath the northwest portion of the church correspond to man-made cuts in the bedrock, consistent with early worship chambers. Another groundbreaking revelation is the identification of an ancient water system located beneath the church grounds. Excavations in 2022, led by Israeli hydrologist Dr. Yossi Nagar, uncovered remnants of a 1st-century aqueduct and cistern complex. According to ancient building customs, tombs were typically placed near water sources for purification rites. The aqueduct system appears to have fed into what is now the crypt of St. Helena, another section of the church structure, suggesting ritual significance and perhaps even a purification station for mourners or priests performing burial rites. These findings are especially intriguing when analyzed alongside Jewish burial customs from the Second Temple period. According to archaeological data collected by the Israel Antiquities Authority, Jewish tombs were often located near mikvaot, ritual baths filled with running water for ceremonial cleansing. The proximity of a water management system to the tomb in question reinforces the hypothesis that this location was selected not just for logistical reasons, but for religious ones grounded in purity laws of the time. Another layer of discovery involves the stratigraphic data beneath the tomb. Researchers from the University of Pisa conducted soil and sediment analysis in 2023, extracting core samples from directly under the marble slabs. The archaeologists were eager to find out. The segment they uncovered included a gatehouse, a corner tower, and a royal structure. The samples, carbon-dated using accelerator mass spectrometry, revealed a stratification pattern dating back to the Iron Age, suggesting that the area was part of an older urban or ceremonial center long before the New Testament era. Traces of charcoal and burnt olive pits indicate that the location may have experienced fire-related destruction, possibly aligning with historical accounts of conflicts during the Babylonian and Roman occupations of Jerusalem. Notably, analysis of the sediment composition shows a remarkably high level of calcium carbonate, pointing to frequent limestone exposure and runoff. corroborating accounts that the original tomb was hewn directly into a limestone quarry. Archaeologists already knew of an ancient quarry in the area from prior digs, but this deeper data confirms that burial use continued even after quarrying ceased, a practice documented in Jewish funerary records. One of the more controversial discoveries emerged in early 2024, when infrared spectroscopy revealed faint inscriptions embedded in one of the lower foundation stones beneath the edicule. Though heavily eroded, scholars from the Greek Orthodox Patriarchate and Hebrew University deciphered a short phrase in ancient Greek, translating loosely to "he whom death could not hold." While it's impossible to authenticate the inscription as contemporaneous to Jesus' time, the language and paleography place it somewhere between the 2nd and 4th centuries AD. Its placement and wording strongly suggest it was a marker of early Christian reverence, hidden away deliberately beneath foundational layers for protection or sanctity. Beyond religious implications, these finds contribute to our broader understanding of urban development in Jerusalem. The layering of sacred, residential, and industrial functions within such close vertical proximity illustrates the dynamic nature of space usage in ancient cities. Architectural historian Dr. Elias Kouris posits that the underground zones functioned not just as tombs or worship sites, but as part of a larger sacred topography, interconnected through a system of tunnels and ritual access points now buried beneath centuries of reconstruction. Meanwhile, theological scholars are using these scientific revelations to revisit long-standing debates. Dr. Sandra Wheaton of Cambridge University notes that the physical clues now available, including the plant matter, hydrology, and epigraphy, are forcing a re-evaluation of assumptions about gospel narratives. We are now equipped to cross-reference ancient texts with physical geography and stratigraphy in ways the early church fathers never imagined, she remarks. As investigations continue, each layer peeled back under the Church of the Holy Sepulchre reveals more than just rock and ruins. It offers a living narrative of Jerusalem's evolving identity, a city of faith, resistance, and revelation. What lies beneath Jesus' tomb is not only about confirming history, but about engaging a deeper conversation between science, scripture, and the silent voices buried in stone. Do these discoveries change how we see faith and history? What else could still be buried beneath Jerusalem's sacred ground? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to check out the next video on your screen. You will enjoy it.